everybody, this is Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters in Rocklahoma. How's it going? It's Wednesday. What's up Wednesday? We're going to just talk about random topics. Yes, we are. And if you have any topics you want to talk about, you can get involved. The more you get involved, the more you get out of the street. Yesterday, the trolls were creeping out on Twitch. It didn't upset me or anything. I just didn't have time for them. So I did my own thing with my AI creations. You guys gotta check out my YouTube channel. I've been trying to create videos that are really interesting, real cool in my opinion. So check it out, guys. Just check it out. And I'm actually behind schedule. I really, one day we're gonna get our shit together. So it gets crazy. Hey, at least I'm in very little pain. Yeah, I am. I'm feeling good. What a difference those shots did for me. Things are gonna come together. I grant you that. Right now I'm streaming on the phone. How you doing, Long Tour? Hold on, I have to do something real quick. Yeah, well, it's probably just warming up. Right? Just like a car, you have to warm it up sometimes and go vroom, vroom. Alright? Rev it up. Vroom, vroom. Listen, things could be a lot worse, okay? Right? Listen, when I was on Mixer, and this is no lie, my stream sucked as far as stream quality, but because of my over-the-top personality and my positive personality and stuff, people did come. I had 1,500 followers on Mixer, which I'm proud of. Yeah. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Oh. Alright. You like the Canadian streamers, eh? Yeah. Well, listen, content creation and the streaming platforms are saturated with streamers, right? So, you really have to, dig in your heels and just keep going at it. Yeah, it's no more. July 22nd of 2020 just cut off. And a lot of people were upset because it happened just like that. And the reason why I know that date so well, and I'll probably never forget it for the rest of my life, is because 2 days later, on July 20th, 2020, I had neck surgery. And then 2 days later, they just cut the stream. Their platform. So, everybody took it hard. Everybody. I even asked somebody not so long ago, I said, why don't we have a Mixer Day where everybody puts like a banner, on their stream for Mixer? Like, it's like, when they do a memorial service every year for 9/11, I know it's, 9/11 was a lot worse, okay? I almost died on 9/11. But, so my friend says, nah, that's not going to work. People just want to move on from it. But some people still can't. Some people still can't. There's like other platforms that say, oh, we're just like Mixer. We're going to become the new Mixer. And I'm talking about Glamish, right? So I commented on their thing there. I said, yeah, you're not like Mixer, right? And they right away they replied back and said, we didn't say we were Mixer. Oh, yes, you did. I have proof, buddy. Yeah. Xbox / micro. Yeah. So I still have hold on. I still have on my, well, no, I used to because I erased all those bookmarks off. I used to, for a long time, on my bookmarker that had Mixer, Rocket Queen 71, and if you click on it, say if I clicked on it, it would take me to Facebook Gaming. Now, Facebook Gaming is being discontinued also. How about that? Yep. Yeah. And a lot of the Mixer streamers, partners, went to Facebook Gaming. A lot of people were asking me to go over there because they were looking out for me, saying, oh, you'll get more exposure that way. You're going to get more exposure. Hell with, Twitch and all that, right? And I was like, yeah, I don't, because of the political bullshit and the censorship and all that stuff, I said, no. And Facebook is a lot worse than Twitch when it comes to certain streaming, categories they're in. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna do something. I'm in talks with some people about something, and they're trying to help me out. you know, who knows? I'm not giving up. I did take a long break because of my neck surgery, and I was depressed about Mixer, shutting down, and I said, screw this, and then with the pandemic and stuff, I went on Amazon, I bought all the stuff that I haven't really set up yet. I'm still not set up yet. I mean, I have my Rocktastic sign, my Atari sign, and all that stuff, but stuff still needs to be done. But don't get me wrong. For all that time, I was streaming. My main is to help people. I want to get my message out there somehow, and the couple of people that I'm talking to want to help me and get me pushed off into the stratosphere. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Oh well. Until Starlink happens for us. So how you been? You're doing all right? Tell me why you have this the gamer tag or screen name long tour. Cervical. Right here. Because I had my disc were kind of crushed. So they had to put a lot. I'm a true metalhead now. They put screws and hardware in my neck. I had to wear a brace, but I was so uncomfortable. So tell me, Long Tour, about your gamer tag or your screen name. How did you come up with that? Well, for mine it did. For mine, they opened me up and they moved my esophagus, my windpipes and everything over, right? And that's how they did it. And the doctor, who was a Mexican doctor, and I'm not racist, by the way, he was a Mexican doctor. My husband and I, we were so desperate for me to get out of pain. So we were referred to a Mexican doctor. I'm not going to tell you his name, nothing like that. And he says, I had to go for an MRI and all that. And he says, yeah, you have something, compression or degeneration of your disc. So he's like, you need surgery. Like, all right, I'm for it, But I told him I was in recovery from crack and heroin since 2011. 2004, and alcohol since 2011. Because I take my recovery seriously, right? And I told them that 4 times in the session, you know. So, he's like, oh, he pulled out his cell phone, right? And he says, oh, you could just be like her, you know. And this girl was riding down the zip line in Costa Rica. So they can get to my neck. I thought they were gonna, lay me down, face down. But they didn't. That's how they did it. So, yeah. And, but I never went back to him again after that. Well, they do for some other cervical surgeries. But after that, alright, so after the surgery, of course I was all drugged up and stuff, and I had to stay overnight. They gave me a nice big breakfast, waffles, crispy bacon, scrambled eggs, orange juice, oatmeal, whatever, right? And I actually almost choked on a piece of bacon that got lodged in my throat. I never got so scared in all my life. Because you know why? My uncle, my great uncle, passed away from choking on a piece of steak. And he was about to retire. And this was years ago. So here I'm choking on a piece of steak in the hospital. And all that. Tears rolling down my face and stuff. And it was scary. I mean, of course I drank, like, the juice and whatever. Yeah. Yes. He said to me, if we fix your neck, maybe your back problems will be better. And it wasn't the case at all. But anyway, like, yeah, so he even said to me, and I don't recall this, but my husband said, yeah, the doctor said to you, I have problems. It's scary. Especially, like, there was a couple times months ago where I ate something, and here I'm like, whatever. And for 3 days I didn't eat because I was so scared I was going to choke to death. I don't want back surgery. My mother for Oklahoma, and she had back surgery all her life, pretty much. And I said, nope, I'm not gonna be like her. Nope. But these shots in my back, it's like a crapshoot, pretty much. Because sometimes they'll work and sometimes they won't. And, but this time they worked. Thank God. Yeah, I get, when I choke, I don't choke as much now, right? But when I really choked a lot after the surgery and stuff, I didn't eat for 3 days. My counselors, because I didn't eat for 3 days, I was like, so scared. They admitted me in the hospital. All right, because I had anxiety about dying, And so, the doctor said, people go through this with neck surgery. He called it something. He said, because, when I got admitted, they brought my room. And so the doctor came in and he says, yeah, people after the surgery go through this, And I told him a story about my uncle passing away from choking on a piece of steak. And I said, every time I choke on something, I think of I think of my uncle. And so I was in the hospital for I guess 5 days or whatever and stuff. He said, just eat smaller bites and make sure you have something to drink. And I said, I do that, but I still choke. Hold on, we have a guest. Come on. Yeah, say hi. Hold on, I don't want. Say hi to everybody. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Say hi to everybody. Don't be like that. Say hi to everybody. Look. Or just look at the camera. I don't care. That's Cherokee. And he's turning his back on everybody. How rude, right? No, very rare do I choke anymore. I think it was just the healing of my neck. So I don't know. Sometimes, even like when I drink, like say, oh, you know what? I can't get so. Even when I drink Java Monster, the only rocket fuel for this rocket queen, hell yeah! Even when I drink this sometimes and stuff, it goes down the wrong way. It's a scary feeling. And like my husband and I, we were eating dinner and we were eating pot roast and stuff. And I chewed it and all that. It went down the wrong pipe, and here I'm like, whatever. And here he's sitting, and he's just looking at me. I'm like, do something, and yeah, but I don't have that kind of problem anymore, really. And so every once in a while I do, but not much. Yep, Java Monster, my favorite drink. That's my rocket fuel that gets me through the day now. I've been drinking it for years. Years. So, you haven't told me, how did you come up with your name? Long Tour. Enough about me. I want to hear how you came up with Long Tour. think I'm catching a cold. How did you come up? If you don't tell me about how you came up with your screen name, I'm going to ban you. I would be like a giraffe or something. No, I'm not going to do that. That's funny. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. When I eat steak, I love my steak rare, blood rare, okay? Like, if you just kill the cow on the spot. I don't know her. But I make sure when I eat, like, rare steak and all that, I really chop it up real good so I don't go through it. Oh, say hi. Oh, wait, come here. Say hi to everybody. He's like, Mom. He's like, he's Daddy's boy, Cherokee. Right? He's like, look at all the lights. You like the lights? Yeah. Well, there's a lot of older women that are getting into this. Like, they'll do, like, Martha Stewart stuff or just game or anything. You know? I game also. I game on stream, but for some reason, my Streamlabs desktop, forget it, hasn't been working. Maybe I should switch over to OBS. You know, but it is what it is. Now, why is that? I'm going to ban you too if you don't tell me how you got your screen name. And you probably go on a marijuana bias site. But whatever works for you. If you smoke weed, that's on you. I don't. When I go to the emergency room, say for my back, and they all know me over there, right? But they still ask me if I have a card, a medical marijuana card, and I'm like, and I give them this look, like, why are you asking me this when you know I'm a recovering crack and heroin addict since 2004, alcohol since 2011? Why are you still asking me that? Well, it's protocol. But yet you know me. I don't do California sober. And that was coined by Demi Lovato. But I hate when they ask that because it just triggers me. I'm completely sober. My nephew-in-law that lives over there in my old, mother-in-law's house, all their windows are shut. There's 2 people living in that house, and you can still smell the smoke coming from the house. That's how much pot they smoke. And that's no lie. I got pissed at. But anyway, thanks for joining my stream, guys. I truly appreciate it and stuff. This is What's Up Wednesday. It's gonna be talking about random stuff like we have been about my neck and mixer and I still want to find out how you got your name, Long Tour. What's your thought? Let me ask you this. What's your thoughts of AI? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's scary because of what's becoming of it? Technology is moving at a rapid pace. I've talked on the stream many times before about AI. I'm in love with it. I'm working on videos with AI. I don't do it in a malicious manner. I do deep fakes. Okay, I do the art. Last night I had to make a thumbnail. I want to get these videos out there. I want them made and get them out there. And of course, AI could be used in a malicious manner, like with governments, or just people in general. They can make up something of Joe Biden saying, I'm going to blow up the world, and all that, or Putin is the worst world leader ever, or something like that. But they do have the technology, to detect deepfakes. But now it's getting even harder for these programs to detect deepfakes. Netflix has a new series out called Black Mirror. And Black Mirror, the reason why they call it Black Mirror is in reference to like how our TVs or our phones have a black screen. So it's like a black mirror. If you put your cell phone up, it's shiny and it's reflective. You can see your face in it. I haven't watched Black Mirror. I'm curious about it. But I don't have Netflix. It's on Netflix. And it's called Black Mirror. And it basically tells how technology is invading our lives. And they also talk about situations that could happen, which already are happening, and people don't know it. They're just in denial of it. I was gonna say something, I forget. Wow. I'm sorry, my mind went blank. But I mean, I've talked about this before. You know, things are just gonna get worse. You know, because people pretty much idolize this cell phone because it knows everything. It's like God. This is God in your hands because it knows everything. Everything. You know, but technology could be used in a good way too. I mean, there's so many documentaries out there about AI. And I've talked about this man before. He's an author. And he has documentaries out. Like the final countdown of AI invasion. Okay? Which is basically, in a way, the government already has this technology. You know? Look at the cell phones. Everywhere you go, this thing tracks you. Even if you know, and it listens into your conversations. TVs that are turned off. You think they're turned off and stuff. Or when they have it on too, can listen to your conversations. Hanwei was like the biggest company that did that with their TVs and their technology. Their technology and all that. So it was Samsung TVs. And that happened a few years ago. Look at what, like, when you write an email to somebody and stuff, the government looks at it. Or could look at it if you are a potential terrorist. Right? These companies, these technological companies, hold on. These technology, what the hell? I can't speak. These technological companies, the way they do things is they slowly try to condition the world by introducing this technology, like with pets, or say Alexa, right? Alexa, you put it in your room saying, "Hey Alexa, play Boston More Than a Feeling." Okay, on. Or they put chips in pets saying, "See, if you lose a pet and the pet comes to the vet, they can scan them, and they can call you right up saying, "We found your dog. Thanks to that microchip." Well, now they're starting to put chips in people's hands. Would you trade your freedom and your privacy for convenience? Well, you already are when you're using your phone and you're using the internet. You already are. But would you go that far to say, "Oh, I want a chip in my hand so I don't have to get my card out for purchases or anything. I can just..." Would you go that far? And they'll say it's for just purposes, for like purchases and stuff. Then comes the next level, where they're gonna track you. So Billy Crone, he actually made a documentary on artificial immortality. And it talks about robots, transhumanism. When I talk about transhumanism, I'm talking about they're hybriding humans and being robots. Elon Musk is experimenting with chips in the brain, with rats and pigs and monkeys or whatever. But like I said, I haven't watched Black Mirror. Man. And all, like with this technology, like with deep fakes, right? We were talking about that. Deep fakes, are images, or they have images of real people, and you can put yourself in that image, talking like them, being in the movie. And I've been doing that with deep fakes with my friends, family, and all that stuff, for fun. Now, this is going to be interesting for you Apple freaks out there, for your iPhone freaks out there who love Apple so much. Apple founder Steve Jobs has been brought back from the dead. And because of this new AI technology, and it really hasn't been new. It's been around for a while. But he's a part of a new podcast. And this podcast series that demonstrates how AI tech will be used. Could be used. So, this AI, Steve Jobs, is being interviewed by Joe Rogan. And you can, like I said, you can watch it on Podcast AI. But Joe Rogan's voice it's not him. It's an AI voice. And if you listen to it, when you listen to it, at first it sounds robotic, but then it doesn't. It sounds exactly like Joe Rogan. Exactly like Steve Jobs. And, but this interview never took place. And they're doing it in a lighthearted manner, but still, it can be used for malicious purposes. Because if you're listening to a podcast and say a podcaster said, well, I have, Steve Jobs or Joe Biden on here or Putin or what, they can say whatever they want to say with this AI. And by listening to it, you might think, oh, that's, Putin, that's Joe Biden, that's so-and-so. When it's really not. And I think, in what way, I boast about AI a lot and deep fakes, and I'm like in love with it. I'm having fun with it. But at the same time, I am concerned about this technology because it's being developed at a rapid pace now. Now I'm finding out that you can do animations with this AI. But that's deep fakes. But it's one step, above what they can do. They're doing hologram concerts, like with Whitney Houston, with Ryan James Dio, with Elvis. And let me tell you something. I knew Ryan James Dio. Okay? He's been dead since, let me find out real quick. I love that man. Why isn't it coming up? Hold on, guys. My computer's just... I don't know what the hell's... Oh, what else? I'm sorry for the dead air, guys. Alright, so... yeah, that's right. Ryan James Dio, who I knew because of my band. I was in the band Vicious Bite. We hung out with him. We even, we opened up for him. You know what? He was, but he was just laid back and he was smart, just like Lemmy was. Killmeister from Motorhead. But he was laid back. He was just, he was pretty cool. He had a very twisted sense of humor about things. So he died in 2010. And so did his wife. They have Ronnie James Dio live. But it's a hologram. I'm going to tell you this. His wife, when I approved of this, if she was alive, I think Ronnie wouldn't either. But I think he would, because he did have a belief in spirits, and aboriginals floating around and, watching you and all that stuff. But still, I don't think he would have approved of this. Whitney Houston's family, now that's another story. They're money hungry. Okay? They are. And they're actually, profiting from. I've watched how they've done this with the holograms. It's basically a body double, and they just paste the person's face on the actor's face. That's all it is. And that's what deepfakes are too. Like with metaphysics and stuff that was showcased on America's Got Talent and all that. That's how I got started with this deepfake stuff. I was like, yeah, I want that. They got 4th place on America's Got Talent. And, they brought back, Elvis and whatever. They also did Simon Cowell. And, of course, Simon Cowell got a big kick out of it because, he's very, narcissistic, and all that. But at least he was laughing and had a fun time with it. But we all have to be cautious about this technology and be very concerning about this technology. Just like the internet, just like with Twitter or with Facebook. I mean, it was supposed to be for the greater good, so to speak. And forget it. It's all propaganda, all fakeness, all, it's sewer crap that's on there. And a lot of people want to be heard. And they just want to attack you, saying, well, I believe in this. You can't believe in that. You're canceled. That's why I got off Facebook. I deleted my Facebook. I deleted my Facebook because it was too much political bullshit, a lot of security breachings. Oh, a couple years ago, I got blocked. I was banned because they thought I was a terrorist. They wanted my information. Like with my, ID, social security number. What do you need my social security number for? You know? And, to me, it was very sus. Okay? I know my ex-boyfriend, actually my first love and stuff, he is very political. And I told him that. I said, the government's going to be looking at you for all the stuff you're saying politically. And I that. You know? Guilty by association? I don't want the FBI crashing through my door. No way. All thanks to the Patriot Act, too. So, yeah. I've had a situation where my husband Jim and I, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Tulsa. I had my cell phone. And, you know, we went into the restaurant. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so I had a cell phone on me. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Tulsa, and I put, I didn't bring my, my my cell phone in with me. I don't like that. I want to spend time with my husband. I want to give him attention. And so we ate, we came out, and all of a sudden my phone says, rate your visit to Buffalo Wild Wings. I got freaked out. How did they know right off the bat that I opened up the door, sat down, and then all of a sudden, bing, rate your visit at Buffalo Wild Wings. Really? My husband was freaked out. Now that's why he doesn't go on social media, like with Twitter, Facebook. His ex-wife actually made him a Facebook account. That's a funny story in itself. But he never even had a cell phone when we were first talking. And by the way, my husband and I met on Xbox back in 2015. When we started talking, I said, well, call me up. It'll be easier. He said, I don't have a phone. I said, what do you mean you don't have a phone? And, when people, men, or somebody say they don't have a phone, I said, oh, they're married. He's married. He's married. And that wasn't the case. He just didn't want to be bothered by people. I'm I'm an extrovert. He's an introvert. We complement each other. You know, he's my, you know what? He's my voice of reason too. I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have him in my life. I'm very grateful to have him. So in other news, Alex Jones, he was just ordered to pay almost $1 billion with a B dollars to 8 families of the Sandy Hook massacre that happened in 2014, December 14th, 2014. He's ordered to pay for damages costing $1 billion with a B, capital B, to the 8 families, because he said that the whole Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax, that the parents were actors. Of course, you know, when they do a defamation trial or anything like that, you know, the defendant always, you know, appeals it. So, most likely, you know that. But in August, in Texas, the courts ruled that he and his company must pay $49 million with the M to 2 families down there. You think he has the money? Do you think a bank will give him a loan? You know, and it's funny because when I guess they were televising this, and Alex Jones on his channel, not on YouTube by the way, on his site, while they were, you know, telling the amounts to different families, he was mocking them. He wasn't in court when the verdict was read. You know. So I think he's gonna pay for the consequences, literally. But it raises the question, well, free speech, right? But there's always a responsibility about free speech. You have to be responsible of what you're saying. Just because you're on the internet being a thumb thug, you know, and all that, doesn't mean you have the right to harass people, you know, to bully people, and to do other things. And all that. But I hope you're having a rocktastic night. I know I am, guys. I know I am. Don't start. We might be having a wrestling match going on in a couple of minutes. Because Muskogee doesn't want Cherokee in his territory. Last night, I was cooking dinner and all that, and Muskogee jumped up on the counter, like, and I was like, no, you can't do that. So he runs off real quick, and then Cherokee, taps him like, yeah, bad boy. I'm looking at Muskogee now, and he says, not funny, Ma. Not funny at all. But I think Cherokee's an instigator. You know? I hope life's not dragging you down, guys. I hope that you're keeping the faith and things will get better in time. I know you're not going to forget about what happened to your stuff, your home, your memories. Maybe you lost loved ones in Hurricane Ian. I know it's tough. But my thoughts and prayers are with the people, the victims of Superstorm Santa. Wow! Brain fart! Every time I talk about Hurricane Ian, I have, that's it. I think the second, third time it's happened in a stream. Unfreaking believable. I swear I have brain fog from COVID. And yeah, I said the C word. Because my memory is like, and sometimes I'm like, do I have dementia or something? Yeah. And I've read on the internet, and you don't believe everything you read on the internet, but actually a couple of my friends have brain fog where they just lose their train of thought or they forget things, whatever. Talking about COVID, the C word, in an interview or at a council meeting in Europe, a Pfizer executive, okay? A Pfizer executive, big pharma. If you watch a lot of TV now, or, whatever, they were always saying sponsored by Pfizer. That's all propaganda, guys, okay? All propaganda. You don't see them doing much anymore with the commercials, But her name is Jay Small, And the EU lawmaker, the European lawmaker, asked her if the jab, okay, really had any effect on people. And this is what she said. The jab was never, I'm going to say that, never tested this in a television. Were vaccinated because you thought that was the right thing to do for your health, for your body, for your family, and whatever. I'm not a doctor. Okay? If you felt that you had to do that for yourself, for your sanity, for your safety, for your health, that's on you. I never got vaccinated. I never got the jab. And in a lot of ways, I'm glad I didn't. Because there's a lot of controversy over what's in that jab. So I never took it. My husband didn't take it. My mother-in-law, this was a couple months before she passed away last year. She was vaccinated twice. Twice. She got COVID from the hospital. She was in the hospital for to get physical therapy after they amputated her toe. So while she was in there, she got COVID. She was vaccinated twice. And she had proof that she was vaccinated twice. And she still got it. But even with me, I didn't know I had COVID. I had no symptoms. And here they're saying, oh, you have COVID. And believe me, when it was becoming a real big problem, with all these reports coming out of how many people got affected, how many people died, and you hear about all these deaths, and I'm a heavy smoker, and it was during Christmas time, almost Christmas time, and the way they said it was right. And they were in the hospital for I was in there, and the nurse, said to another nurse, she whispered, she has to go in the other room. Right? Okay. So they wheeled me in there. I had IV going in me because I was a little bit dehydrated. And this technician comes in, says, "You got COVID." And I was like, "I got COVID." He's like, "You don't yell at me or I won't yell at you." And he said, get in the wheelchair. We have to, send you off. And I'm like, "What?" I said, "Can I talk to my husband? Or, I want can my husband come in? No. Right? And he's fumbling with the IV bag, puts it on the hook on the wheelchair. He whisks me to the room and stuff. He opens up the door, and all I see is a crucifix. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. It was a Catholic hospital. They have crucifixes in every room. But still, when you see that, it's like, I'm done. I'm dying. I'm crying. I'm acting all hysterical. Oh, I told my husband. Oh, I'm going to die. Whatever. And here I am. Because here I'm thinking, because like I said, I'm a heavy smoker. You could tell I'm overweight. And I'm like, I'm gonna die. And they left me in the room, right? The nurse comes in and stuff. She says, "What are you crying for? Why are you crying for?" And I said, "Because I'm dying. I don't want to die from this." Because I'm thinking about my mom. I'm thinking about my 2 kids. And I'm thinking about Jim and all this stuff. And you know what? During that time, I had a fear of catching it. I'm not gonna lie. And here I'm thinking, oh boy, my fears have come true now. So the nurse comes in. She said, "What are you crying for?" "Oh, I'm dying. I don't want to die." And she says, "You're not gonna die from this." "Oh, you want to?" No. She's like, "Your vitals are fine. Your air saturation is fine. Your heart's fine. You have nothing to worry about. You're fine." Alright? And so I was like, I was really upset, and what? And so this doctor comes in, dressed in full body armor, pretty much. Comes in, and he takes my hand. He had a glove on, okay? He takes my hand and says, "What's wrong, sweetie?" He was a physician's assistant. His name escapes me. Dan Harrington. This physician's name was Dan Harrington. And he's like, "What's wrong, sweetie?" I said, "I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die from this. I don't want to die. All my fears came true. I have COVID. I don't want COVID. I don't even have symptoms," and all this stuff, right? And this doctor was so compassionate. Many doctors now don't have bedside manners. They really don't. And I hate that. I've had an experience where I had shots in my back. This was a couple years ago, actually. And he would say, "All right," we would go there. He would come in for 2-3 minutes saying, "Yeah, we're going to give you shots in the back. Oh, but this time we're going to give you, 6 warm shots in your back." all at the same time. Oh, fun, 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 fun! Right? So, and then, I go get the shots in the back, and that was it. I don't like doctors like that. I have doctors now, like my primary care doctor. Her name is Dr. Cook. And she understands my concerns about not wanting to have back surgery. About my recovery is number one in my life. I don't want to, have anything to screw that up. And she actually sits and talks with me about my recovery from drugs and alcohol, okay? My concerns about medication, and because there's a lot of people out there that take opioids or benzos and they get addicted to it and they don't realize it. Okay? And it's happening less now because of the opioid crisis. Doctors are more aware of the opioid addiction problem and all that. And in fact, Oklahoma was the first state to sue Purdue, Big Pharma, saying, they cause a lot of deaths and addiction. We want money for our programs to help these people. And they won. I'm so proud to be in Oklahoma now. Anyway, but this doctor, my primary care doctor, sits and actually talks with me. I love her to death. After one appointment, I said, "Can I give you a hug?" And of course, she has a mask on, right? I said, "Can I just give you a hug?" She said, "Sure." And I hugged her. I said, "Thank you." She said to me, I said, "Do they teach?" Because years and years ago, they never taught doctors about addiction. So I asked her this. I said, "Do they teach you about addiction now?" She says, "Oh, yeah." She says, "Now they do because of this opioid crisis and stuff." Yeah, yes, they do. She says, "I actually had to go to NA meetings to learn about these people that were addicted to the opioids, or just to learn about addiction in general." So we talk about that. We talk about, whatever else is bothering me or whatever. I used to go to their family doctor, my husband's family doctor, and he took care of my mother-in-law, but he really didn't do much for me. He talked to me, yeah, but it wasn't, I moved on to Dr. Cook and all that. And I'm glad I made that decision. So my suggestion to you is, I don't give advice, but suggestion, if you're feeling that your primary care doctor, your counselor, psychiatrist, you're not getting your needs met, tell them about it. You have to be your own best advocate. Tell them. And if they're not listening to you, go go somewhere else and get yourself another counselor, primary care doctor, counselor, and or psychiatrist or whatever. Because you come first. And if you feel like your needs aren't being met, saying, I'm sorry, I have to go to another doctor. So, back to the story of Dr. Dan Harrington. He sat with me for at least 35 minutes. And he says, he's like, Vicky, you're not dying, you're not going to die. Guaranteed, you're not going to die from this. Because your numbers look good. And he's like, you're going to overcome this. You're going to overcome this. And then he says, I know 3 things that you overcame in your life. And he says, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, I look up at him, I said, what's that? He says, you overcame the cocaine, crack, heroin, and the alcohol. And you're going to overcome this too. He's like, I know this is upsetting and stressful. When we tell patients they have COVID, especially around this time of year, because it's Christmas time and they want to be with their families and whatever. He's like, I have a 100-year-old grandfather that I can't even see on Christmas. I feel depressed and sad about that too. And so he said, you're going to be okay. And he says, I got to go, and to make my other rounds and whatever. And I was like, thank you. And so he walks out. About 5 to 10 minutes later, this other doctor comes out. I swear he looked like Woody Allen. Joe. He opens up the door, and it's 1 foot out and 1 foot in the doorway. And he's like, we're going to give you the Z-Pack. Take it. We're going to give you the first dose of it now. He's like, quit smoking and all that. And by the way, Dr. Dan Harrington, when we were talking, says, I'm not going to tell you to quit smoking. I don't want to add extra stress in your life. He's like, just cut down. All right? So this doctor says, quit smoking. Only 5 minutes or less with me. I couldn't believe it. And also when that happened, they told my husband to go back home, which we live about 35 minutes away from the hospital, because they told him, we're going to keep her for a couple of days. Really? And the doctor said, yeah, we're going to discharge you. So we have to come back to tell them that you're being discharged. I'm like, what? telephone rings and says, pick your wife up. You know, she's being discharged. He's like, but you told me to go home. What the hell, you know? You know? So I wait in the waiting room and stuff, you know, and then, and there was people there that were there for 8-9 hours. They were still there. And they were there when I first came in the emergency room. So we talked a little bit, you know, and I felt bad. I mean, we had to wait that long too, you know. And so here comes my husband. The sliding door's open, and here he comes. He's all pissed. So I get up. He's walking too fast. I said, "You're walking too fast." And I said, they told me I had COVID. He says, "Vic, just get in the car. Just get in the car. Bullshit. You don't have COVID. Bullshit." Okay? So we get in the car. I said, "What's wrong with you?" You know, I mean, I can understand, you know, because, I mean, if he had to go home, which is 35 minutes away, and then come back, I mean, come on. You know? And, so, about a couple weeks later, or whatever, or about a week later, 2 weeks later, he got COVID. But he had worse health issues than I did, because he had a heart attack in 2013, and he has a stent in, and he got it a lot worse. His symptoms were a lot worse. He was miserable. And I told him, I said, "You should really go to the emergency room." He's like, "No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." You know, and, but yeah. But, like I said, I'm glad I made the decision to switch physicians, to switch primary care doctors that actually sit and listen to me. That's important to me. Even if it's something that you know, I don't like the truth, and they're being very blunt, honest with me. I like that. I like counselors like that. I like psychiatrists like that. I like my friends or my husband to help hold me accountable for things. You know, I don't want people to tell me what I want to hear. I want people to tell me what I don't want to hear. And that's the problem with society today also. With people like on Twitter and Facebook and even on TikTok or whatever. You know. They can't handle the truth. They'd rather be lied to than be told the truth. And, I'm sorry, I have to get a drink. Java Monster is the only rocket fuel for this rocket queen. Hell yeah! Cheers, guys. Best stuff in the universe. anyway. So like I said, I'm having, let's go back to the AI stuff. They're the sites, there's a lot of sites out there now that are popping up on the internet, you know, and of course when I go on YouTube and, you know, I get a random stream that and all that, and oh my God, I just turn on, I mean, I just pull up something from Google and I talk, you know, to talk about AI, excuse me, AI stuff. About a day ago, a robot artist, Ada, addressed the UK Parliament about the future of AI. Hold on, guys. All right, so this is in ArtNet News on the internet. And I wish I could show you this stuff, guys. I could show you stuff. You know, I had, you know, streams in the past. I would do stuff. We would talk about it, you know, to show actual facts. And like, I go to unbiased sites, okay? Because usually you know if it's total bullshit on a site or not, okay? So I do a lot of research on this stuff. You have to, especially like even if it's political issues and all that. So anyway, a few hours ago or a day ago, robot artist terrified the House of Lords. The robot is a part of an experimental art project. Bullshit. When they say that, experimental art project, no, it's governmental, pretty much, or whatever. But the robot is a part of an experimental art project that aims to let the technology speak for itself. They have another AI robot, and her name is Sophia. And so this Sophia AI robot was the first robot to be granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia. I'll mention that again. This was a few years ago. An AI robot, and her name is Sophia, was granted citizenship from Saudi Arabia. Isn't that insane? I mean, so, let's see. The artificial intelligence-powered robot Ada has become the first of her kind to speak at the UK Parliament after addressing the House of Lords yesterday alongside her creator, artist, and gallerist, Aidan Meller. She appeared before the peers of communications and digital community to give evidence on the impact of technology on the creative industries. But see, this is all, a push, because of course they're going to use it for something else, right? Politically and all that. So the humanoid robot artist, whose name is a tribute to the mathematician Ada Lovelace, and now they're not talking about the actress in Deep Throat either, was developed in 2019 by Cornish robotics company Engineered Arts and computer AI researchers at the universities of Oxford and Birmingham. Conceived as a contemporary art project intended to explore the artistic potential of AI, Ada has made headlines in recent years for a number of artworks, including a portrait of Queen Elizabeth to celebrate her Platinum Jubilee, and leaping into the metaverse, a solo expedition in Venice during this year's Biennial. And they have a whole article about this. And they have a YouTube video about this. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the technology is being developed at a rapid pace, light speed. So, but I hope to get finished with a couple of videos and put it on my YouTube channel. Of course, I'm not very tech savvy and things go wrong, just like it does on this channel. But I hope you check them out. But with that, guys, I'm going to end it for now. But thanks for joining me on my broadcast, guys. You guys rock! And I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Alright, don't let life drag you down. Keep pushing through. Keep on keeping on. And uplift each other and don't tear each other down. So, this is Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters. And I'm signing off. See you guys. See you next time. I will see you next time. Later, guys.